I have a photograph. Preserve your memories. They're all that's left you. I love this microphone. This is a great microphone.
Thank you, Mark. That was great. Good morning. And
Good morning.
Welcome to the Vashon Island Unitarian Universalists. My name is Kim Kambach. My spiritual name is Sharada. I use she, her pronouns, and I'll be your service leader today. I have brownish graying hair, and I'm wearing a white shirt for those online. If you're visiting, please participate as you feel comfortable. You're invited to stay and introduce yourself afterwards because we have good treats. Our congregation is committed to individual freedom of belief, welcomes diversity, seeks to promote a sense of community, and fosters religion, which enriches the spirit. We are mostly lay-led and strengthened and enriched by weaving together the volunteer contributions of members and friends. We are guided and supported by our part-time minister, Reverend Florence Capello. As we begin our service, please take a moment to become fully present. Our theme this month is paying attention. So please, in this moment, pay attention to how you're sitting, how your shoulders feel. Pay attention to your body and your breath as we prepare our hearts and minds for worship. Please place your feet flat on the floor, roll your shoulders back, and slightly lift the crown of your head. Feel your spine lengthen. Now take a couple of deep, full breaths, slowly in and completely out. Relax and bring your attention to this moment of communal reflection and sharing. Thank you. We acknowledge that we're on the traditional homelands of the Swabash Coast Salish Native people. The Puyallup people have lived and stewarded these lands since the beginning of time and continue to do so today. We recognize that this land acknowledgement is one small step towards true allyship, and we continue to uplifting the voices, experiences, and histories of the indigenous people of this land and beyond. I invite you now to join me in a responsive reading. It is good.
It is good.
It is good to be.
It is good to be.
It is good to be here.
It is good to be here.
It is good to be here together.
It is good to be here together.
I'd like to invite Tish Knapp to come forward to light the chalice. I can light if you want to read.
Our chalice lighting today comes from Reverend Michelle Collins. To practice the revolutionary act of noticing. Come, awaken your senses to this moment, where we practice the revolutionary act of noticing, the breath that sustains us, the beauty hiding in ordinary hours, the small things that keep hope alive. Come, let us train our attention on that which leads us home, or just getting to be.
Thank you. Our speaker today is Koshin Chris Kane. He's the abbot of the Puget Sound Zen Center here on Vashon and guiding teacher of the Rinzai Zen Center in Oslo, Norway. He was born in 1965, just one decade late from the cool people. But he grew up in London, England, and Raleigh, North Carolina. He received a BA in American Studies from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. In 1990, he moved to Mount Baldy Zen Center in California, where he was ordained as a monk and trained there for nearly a decade. He was authorized as a Zen teacher, an Osho, in 1999. In 2003, he and his wife, Lindun, moved to Vashon, where he became the founding teacher of the Puget Sound Zen Center. Since 2009, he served as the formal teacher of the Rinzai Zen Center in Oslo, visiting twice yearly to support its practice community. In 2024, he received koan transmission from the Zen master, how do you say her name? John G. Anita Feng. Lunden and Koshin raised their 2 children here on Vashon Island. Please welcome Koshin.
Thank you so much. Sorry to be born late. The Peace of Wild Things by Wendell Berry. When despair for the world grows in me, and I wake in the night at the least sound in fear of what my life and my children's lives may be, I go and lie down where the wood drake rests in his beauty on the water and the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars waiting for their light. For a time, I rest in the grace of the world and am free.
The hymn for today is hymn 1031 in your blue book, Filled with Loving Kindness.
Please rise in body or in spirit if you'd like. 1031. Yes. You singers can come forward if you'd like.
Ready? May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be whole. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be whole. Next one is may we. May we be filled kindness. May we be well, may we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well, may we be peaceful and at ease. May we be whole.
So again, I'd like to introduce Koshin, and he will come forward.
Good morning. Great to see everyone. And Kim, thank you so much for that introduction. I love coming here. I love the cross-fertilization of our traditions. I think the last two board presidents of the Unitarian Fellowship here have both been secret members of the Zen Center as well. I see Kim every Friday. Well, I see her more often than that, actually, but every Friday we have coffee together along with a bunch of other people and talk about this, that, and the other. And now you have a Zen teacher as a leader, as a minister. Woohoo! Hell yeah. I love dogs and cats sleeping together. That whole sort of, I've always been a syncretist at heart, you see. So when Kim said this morning she knew I'd wear black, so she had to wear white. I said, well, that's perfect. We complement each other, don't we? And yeah, just recently we left the country at pretty much the same time, came back at the same time. Kim went to the Bahamas. I went to freezing cold Norway, and she sent me pictures. Thank you so much, Kim. That was generous of you. I also always love coming to the Unitarians for the music, honestly. I mean, before I die, I pray we get a little more music in our service. Gene, what do you think? We're on our way to James Taylor. We just got a ways to go. One last thing, which is just that the UUs have had a real influence on me and on our community, actually. Our first board president was a UU minister, and we learned, I think we've learned more from the Unitarians about how to do our Eastern spiritual practice in a Western content than anyone else. So I really appreciate that. All right, I'm going to start with a well-known Zen koan, or strange story. Once a monk made a request of Joshu, who was a famous teacher, and he said, the monk, "I have just entered the monastery. Please give me instructions, master." Joshu said, "Have you had your breakfast?" "Yes, I have," replied the monk. "Then wash your bowls." That's the end of the story. The monk had an insight at that moment. I have to admit for myself that I prefer making a mess to cleaning one up. I tend to like the creative process of cooking and making a mess rather than the washing up part. Where's the learning after all? Where's the growing in that? I think Joshu in this koan, though, is saying that on the simplest level, your spiritual instructions are over there by the sink. The student in this story, and we students of life, I think, can grow a great deal by learning to give our full attention to our daily activities. There's a 20th century Zen master, Soko Morinaga, who gives a commentary on this koan, and one that I really like. And he says that, this is 50 years ago, he says the students come, since Socrates they've been saying, students these days, kids these days. And looking for more experiences. More and more experiences. He says they've had more experiences than me, and they're still looking for more. But he says the most important thing, according to him, is not to see many things, but to see commonplace things deeply. So he asks us to practice common tasks as fully as we can, without categorizing them as best we can, as good, worth doing, or uninteresting, not worth doing. And in that way, we can live the thing we're doing more fully. So this monk, he wants to be instructed. He comes to the monastery, he wants to be educated. That's why he came. And I would like to suggest that washing the dishes is a step toward a kind of education, a kind of wisdom, clarity that can help all of us and help us help others. Here's a Mary Oliver poem. Every day it's called Mindful. Every day I see or hear something that more or less kills me with delight, that leaves me like a needle in the haystack of light. It was what I was born for, to look, to listen, to lose myself inside this soft world, to instruct myself over and over in joy and acclamation. Nor am I talking about the exceptional, the fearful, the dreadful, the very extravagant, but of the ordinary, the common, the very drab, the daily presentations. Oh, good scholar, I say to myself, how can you help but grow wise with such teachings as these? The untrimmable light of the world, the ocean's shine, the prayers that are made out of grass. Mary Oliver says, she was born for this. She was born to lose herself in this soft world. And in Zen we say something similar. We say that we're all born with an aspect, a part, that's always connected to the world, that loves being with the world, that is together with the world already. And our practice is to find that and let that part shine, inform us, make us wise. Mary Oliver and Joshu both, I think, ask us to educate ourselves by connecting more deeply with these small things, with these daily presentations. And Morinaga, this contemporary teacher I mentioned, he says finding this connection is a matter of, it's not a matter of going out, it's a matter of allowing things to come in. It's allowing things to come in. Emptying yourself for a time. Emptying yourself of your agenda, your business, so that things can enter. And he says that practicing this allows us not only to let in common objects, but emotions that are common to us all. To feel them fully, to really laugh when we're happy, to really cry when we're sad. He says, and this line really struck me, you mature, he said, you mature. I guess that's a way to become wise. You mature when that which you meet enters you. Mary Oliver might say, you grow wise when you do that. Let a sunset, a moonrise, enter you fully. A sudden sadness, too. In meditation at the Zen Center or elsewhere, we practice being still, paying attention, allowing things to fill us without distracting ourselves from, with our daily business or smartphones or schedules, so that sadness and grief and joy can come uninterrupted. And as we settle, so can the floor come and the sounds and sights around us. We can open to those too. A practice like this opens us up to the world as it is, and, you see, to ourselves as we are, without so much of the narrative of who we are or where we're going in the background or in between us and our lives. So we discover, I think, we learn to accept ourselves as we are right now. I think that kind of opening has a maturing effect on us. Opening to ourselves just as we are, without distraction. I might mention that I don't think we can fully settle in meditation without really paying attention to and then accepting in, allowing to enter everything that comes, committing to that. So attention and acceptance of this annoying sound, this worried inner voice, this entire messy life. And at the bottom of all of that, once we've accepted that, is a deep, okay. Doesn't matter, static, not static, we'll take it all. It's that okay that allows that static just to be, that allows the ocean's shine to enter. The joy of a crisp morning or the pain of a broken heart, both. So, as Kim said, I spent a decade or so as a monk at a Zen training center in the San Andreas Mountains of California. And we followed a rhythm of life there, which goes all the way back to the Buddha's day, which is 3 months on and 3 months off. 3 months on meant, a training period, rather intense. And the 3 months off meant we got to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning instead of 3. So during the off season, I was doing Forest Service raking, and which we had to do there every year. Mm-hmm. 30, ever done that? Yeah.
No, but
yeah, you know about it, right?
Yeah.
30 feet from every building. Mm-hmm. All of the pine needles, 20 buildings, 3 or 4 people. And there I was, raking pine needles again today. And I thought, so this is my life. Not a professor, not getting on with my life like my other friends. No, I thought, this is my life. Raking pine needles and more pine needles. So this is what it's come to. And I had a moment where I just said yes. Yes, this is it. This is my life. I may as well inhabit it. And it felt strangely good to wear that completely. Yep, I'll rake for the rest of my days. Until the edge of doom I will rake. It was relieving. And what do I have in that moment? I have this experience. I have these hands, this rake handle, the smell of warm pine needles. I have that. And that small moment was a big moment for me, actually. And I still have something of it. When my life feels confused, uncertain, yes, this is my life. I do still have the grass, the trees, the fresh air, the dishes to wash. This is the stuff of my life. When I remember that, those things nourish me. They become an always available resource. I mentioned this okay at the bottom of meditation that allows me to, and that okay allows me to better inhabit my life. Not the life I wish I had, the one that looks so good, that life over there in the future, or the one on my smartphone, somebody else's life. I have changes I want to make in my life, by the way. I've just started going back to the gym. I have aspirations and hopes. I have changes I want to affect in the world. I want to help others. And for me, it's important that that starts right here in this life, this difficult, beautiful life. Here's a poem by Richard Schiffman. It's called Fortune Cookie. The fortune that you seek is in another cookie, was my fortune. So I'll be equally frank, the wisdom that you covet is in another poem. The life that you desire is in a different universe. The cookie you are craving is in another jar. The jar is buried somewhere in Tennessee. Don't even think of searching for it. If you found that jar, everything would go kerflooey for 1,000 miles around. It is the jar of your fate in an alternate reality. Don't even think of living that life. Don't even think of eating that cookie. Be a smart cookie. Eat what's on your plate, not in some jar in Tennessee. That's my wisdom for today, though I know it's not what you were looking for. There is a deep and settled wisdom, I think, that is available to us when we stop searching for something else. In that jar in Tennessee, when we stop comparing, stop scrolling, when we just sidle up to our dirty dishes and start washing them without wishing for another task, without wishing for another life. And I'm convinced that this allows me to get to work more fully in my life, on my life, to use my life, my attention, to contribute more fully to the world. The French philosopher Simone Weil said something. She said a lot of good things, and a lot of good things about attention. Attention is the rarest and purest form of generosity, she said. Not talent or money or time, but attention. Weil believed that truly paying attention to another person, really seeing them without your own agenda layered over them, was one of the most profound acts, one of the most profound moral acts that's available to us. Most of us, she says, go through our days only half present. Our mind's already moving to the next thing. For instance, from my point of view, the response we're preparing, the worry that's waiting in the wings. So to stop, to really look, to let in what's in front of you, a person, a task, a tricky situation, I think that's a spiritual act, actually. When you give someone your full attention, you're giving them something genuinely rare. And that's, I think, what Joshu knew when he sent the monk to the sink. He probably learned that himself there. And what Mary Oliver found in the grass, and what I stumbled on with that rake in my hands. So, yeah, pay attention. I think it's harder to pay attention and to give our full attention to things these days. There are so many other things to pay attention to. So many interesting things. Have you seen the Meta Ray-Ban display glasses? Let me tell you, these things are amazing. I've got a few for sale back in the back. They look like They look like we'll see. They look like ordinary glasses, like sunglasses, but they can see and listen and talk to you. There's tiny cameras and microphones, and they all feed into an AI assistant that can identify things. Yeah, like the plant that you're looking at, the bird that you're looking at, and translate a foreign language speaker in real time. Snap photos, video your life, read texts and emails hovering right in front of you, like right here, literally layering over the world in front of you. One reviewer says, you notice the unique possibilities of a device that is always there rather than sometimes there. Now, I have a cell phone in my pocket. I'm not a technophobe. We have a big TV. It's, corner to corner, that big. And yet, of course, I do think that these devices are luring us away from the world, getting in the way, in this case, literally between us and the world. And the algorithm is, just feeds us stuff, leaning us ever more toward outrage and, I think, division. These glasses literally get between us and the world. But actually what drew me to this, what interests me about these glasses is that they are a perfect metaphor for something that Zen talks about a lot, the screen of self-concern and worry and conceptual thought that we habitually put between us and the world, that doesn't allow us to let things in. So in that way, we walk around with glasses on all the time. The glasses of our preoccupations, worries, dreams of another life. And they screen out the world as it is, I think. So I'd like to suggest that we all occasionally remove those clouded glasses that keep us from the world as it is, that we make a practice of opening ourselves to the world, to ourselves, our life as it is, and let the world in. Let the world and our lives in, to allow the things we meet to enter us. And I think that making a habit of this, we can grow more wise about ourselves, more clear about our path, and more truly helpful to the people around us.
Thank you, Koshin, and thank you, Mark. Thank you, each of you, for listening to those words. Now it's time for joys and concerns. We'll pause the recording as we prepare our
There is a love holding me. There is a love holding all that I love. There is a love holding all. I rest in this love. There is a love holding us. There is a love holding all that we love. There is a love holding all. We rest in this love.
We'll resume the recording as we finish the service. As members and friends of the Vashon Unitarian Universalists, we commit to supporting our congregation. Financial resources help us pay speakers and staff, support our social justice programs, and maintain our building. Please support VIUU with pledges and offerings so we can continue to be a vital community. Our congregation engages beyond these walls for peace, social and economic justice, freedom of belief, and protection of our planet and its inhabitants. Once a month, we contribute financial offering to a regional, national, or international organization that aligns with our values. This week's offering supports our beloved community. And if you're like me and you contribute your contribution online, and so for years the basket goes by and you don't put anything in it, please know that many of us can contribute online, and you can do so too. The greeters are now going to pass around the offering baskets, and as we receive the offering, we're going to sing "We Give Thanks." It's 10:10 in the teal.
Blue hymnal. Yep.
Blue hymnal.
Teal hymnal. Yep. We give thanks for this precious day, for all gathered here and those far away, for this time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day, for all gathered here and those far away, for the time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day.
Koshin will now give our final prayer.
Our benediction, right? Okay, all right, good. So I grew up in the Presbyterian Church, so I know the rhythm of a benediction. Go now. Go back to your dishes, to your fallen tree limbs, your ordinary and extraordinary lives. May you find the time, the courage to take off the glasses that cloud your vision, the worry, comparison, wish for another life. And let this one, with these people, enter you fully. As Simone Weil knew, attention is the rarest and purest form of generosity. Give it freely. Receive it gratefully. Go in peace.
Mark is going to honor us with a song.
So in honor of St. Patrick's Day, I'm going to sing a song called Eravata, which translates to the boatman. And it's a song about a young woman looking out to sea, waiting for her boatman to return. Anyone speak Gaelic? Great. Because I don't speak Gaelic either, so. Eravata snaoroila, Eravata snaoroila, Eravata snaoroila, Mahore slolat skachachan cheju, Strik mi shaltin on knoko sarji, Yecham faik mi veravata, Anchigonju non chihumaroch, Smurchiku ijir kutrolatame, Eravata snaoroela, Eravata snaoroela, Eravata snaoroela, Mahoris lolat skachajan cheju, Hamokria sabriste brucha, strichna dio, Arui hulen, Anchiku nocht, non bimochuru, non dun me duras, leos na hurstich, Eravata snaoroela, Eravata snaoroela, Eravata snaoroela, Mahores lolat skachan cheju. Thank you.
So now we'll extinguish the chalice.
With these words by Reverend Collins. The flame goes out. 1,000 things now wait for your attention. Choose carefully. What receives your gaze, your time, your wonder, for what we tend to is what we become.
Our formal service is now over, and I'd like to give special thanks to Abbott Koshin Kane, to Mark, to Tish, to Catherine, to set up group number 3, and for all of you for participating in today's service. Please. One of the things that happens at an ashram is people clap for each other all the time. And so when a new speaker would arrive and they were going to speak in 2 days, they would be introduced the day that they arrived, and everyone would clap. And then the next day they would be introduced because they're going to speak tomorrow, and then everyone would clap. And then the day that they were going to go up and speak, then we would all clap again before they'd even said a word. And for people, international folk, it wasn't such a big deal. For Americans, it was really hard. They were like embarrassed, like, wait, I haven't even done my thing, We have to be honoring more people with more hand clapping. We're here. We made it. It's great. So thank you all for participating in today's service here at Lewis Hall and online. There's refreshments afterwards. But now, if you have an announcement that pertains to VIUU, to a VIUU activity, please come up, form a line, and let's chat. Mark wants to go first.
Hi, I want to announce that on St. Patrick's Day at the wine shop, we're doing a St. Patrick's Day celebration of more of quiet songs. Though there's not going to be the rowdy, stuff. But so we'll have a wonderful harpist, Judith Schley, I think her name is Monica Schley. We'll have Karen Dale playing fiddle, Lawson Cannon on guitar, and then I'll be doing a little bit of singing, and then we've got 2 other Shawno singers. Shawno is an Irish tradition of a cappella singing. So it should be a great night. That'll be, I think it starts at 6 o'clock on Tuesday evening. So at the wine shop, yeah. So thank you for allowing me to
and do
give
they
that.
have food there also?
They do have food there, yes. They have their food, and they'll have beer and wine and soft drinks and so forth. Yeah, yeah.
So many of you might know that coming up on the 28th is, I think, the 3rd No Kings protest that will be going on in a lot of places. Seattle, I imagine here on the island. We are set up for next Sunday after the service to make signs. We've started collecting some supply items. Probably still could use some poster board or gator board or whatever, probably some more big juicy markers. So just want to invite you to stay after next week and make some signs, get creative if you've liked, or just express your opinion. But that'll be going on next week.
Hi, my name is Catherine. Next Sunday, we're going to be celebrating the spring equinox. Amen for that. Guest UU Minister Reverend Jennifer Alvarer. I'm going to get it right as soon as she leaves. She's going to be doing an earth mandala. And so her request was that we bring things of the earth to share with the mandala. So please remember that next Sunday. Bring your good earth stuff.
Large, small, whatever, man.
We have a round table in the back that will be set up here. So as long as it can fit on the round table, I'm sure it can even overhang. But bring it all.
I have 2 announcements. One is that flowers die between Sunday and Sunday. And so as much as we think, gosh, we have these fresh flowers and we should just keep them until next week, by the time we come in the next week, they're pretty dead and making a lot of mess. So each Sunday, you get to grab an arrangement and go home with it. Anyone can grab it. So it's up to you, but we need, the setup teams need to clean up the flowers, and so somebody might as well go home with, whatever. So that's one announcement. The other is there is so much abundance around circle dinners and lunches. The last 3 we had, they're full. Everybody signed up. They're full. So guess what? We have 3 more circle dinners coming up in April and May, and there might just be 1 or 2 more in May and June. So sign-up sheets over here. It's looking good. People are really loving these circle dinners.
I have an announcement that I dropped the ball. And that was because I was on a cruise in the Western Caribbean, so I should be excused. But it has to do with the women's group that's usually the 3rd Wednesday of every month. So that would be this coming Wednesday, the 18th. So because I haven't organized anything at all, it'll just be at my house. And I think 6 o'clock would be good. Can't get home much before that, actually, that day. So 6 o'clock at my house this Wednesday, the 18th. If you want to get an email with the directions and everything, hasten over to the sideboard and sign up, and I'll send an email out to the list that I have, plus anything new on that paper. But hurry up, because when I leave, I'm going to take it with me. Okay. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jessica, and I am chairing Mistress of Ceremonies for the Stewardship Committee. Yes, it's happening, people. The pledge drive is coming. Okay, so we're going to have a short meeting after service today just to kind of organize and plan. And we've been, as the board has been paying attention, our community, our congregation has been paying attention, and we had the welcoming workshop for Reverend Kaplow, and we gathered all of our hopes and dreams for our beloved community. And oh my goodness, they are big. They are big and beautiful. And so we'll be working on putting that together to present to all of you, and then we get to work together to make it happen. So anybody who'd like to help me with that, please stay after, chat with me a little bit. We're going to start to plan for that. Thank you.
So thank you so much again for all being here, and let's sing ourselves out with Go Now in Peace. If you haven't had shoulder surgery, raise your arms up real high.